Good afternoon, Patriots. Today we're going to talk about eagles that fly and geese that flock. That's the old saying. So in America, we align ourselves more with eagles. But we have some eagles that don't fly in this country, and they're called the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, they won the Super Bowl championship, and that usually gets them a free visit to the White House. But unfortunately, they don't like President Trump, and so they decided they didn't want to go to the White House. Now, the media is telling you something altogether different. What they're telling you is that Trump disinvited the Eagles. Well, that wasn't true. What happened was there's a lot of the Eagles decided they didn't want to go. And so when they said they didn't want to go, the only people who are going to show up was the mascot and maybe a few staffers and, I don't know, maybe a player or two. And so President Trump canceled the visit after they said they refused to come because there was no sense having the whole White House set up for just a handful of people who probably didn't want to be there in the first place. So that's really what happened. But what's really behind all this? Well, we hear all these stories about Daryl Jenkins, I believe his name is he's such a patriot and he's doing all these wonderful things and he's so active in combating social injustice. And then Chris Long is donating all of his salary to causes. Well, that's all wonderful. But the whole thing is based on the premises that we have institutionalized racism in America today. And that's just not true. And it's also based on the fact that police are trained to gun down black men in the streets. And that's just not true either. But that's what the political leaders on the left are telling us, and that's what the mainstream media is telling us. And they're trying to get us to believe this because that's all part of cultural Marxism. Cultural Marxism is taking over America today, and that's all part of this politically correctness speech. It's all part of getting us to believe things that just aren't true, so they can push their agenda, because what they really want is a certain brand of socialism in America today. And we've got to stand up and say, we're not going to fight, and we're not going to do that. We're going to fight against that. 40% of the people in America prefer socialism over democracy and capitalism, but that's not going to work in America. America was built on independence, not dependence. And so everything we're hearing about the NFL and about kneeling has got nothing to do with anything other than the spread of cultural Marxism. And I hope that you all start to understand all this. I write about it in my new book. So beware, people, be enlightened, understand what's really happening in America. And I'm not going to attend NFL games for the third year in a row. And I encourage you to watch your local high school team or watch your college teams. There's thousands of college teams that play and they're in every area. Support them. They're all kids that are trying to do a good job, trying to go to school, trying to play football. And don't be feeding the NFL. They're not worthy of your fandom and your support. So anyway, folks, boys and girls, and glad you joined me today. And be careful of who you root for and what you're for, and be careful that you don't fall into the trap of cultural Marxism. And if you want to know more about it, if you don't believe what I'm talking about, hey, see me, call me, write to me, ask me, and I'll explain this whole thing to you in detail. Okay, thank you, boys and girls. God bless you all. God bless all of our vets and our fallen heroes. And God save our America, because we need you now more than ever before.